Hello, welcome to another live stream. Didn't know if I was going to make it today or not. The wife and I just got done with our little anniversary weekend trip, which leads to this live stream because we tried to work ahead and try to get ahead, and it kind of didn't backfire. Just we didn't get as far as I thought. But so today's live stream, we're going to be making a retainer. Very simple retainer, but we worked on all these. This whole batch needs to be delivered Monday. We did a good job, worked on them Thursday, Friday, got them all done. They all they're ready to pumice. They haven't been pumiced yet. Let's see, I think I got over here. Yeah, they haven't been pumiced yet, but I found this guy floating over here in another pan on another day. So somehow I messed that up and I didn't get it done. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to catch this one up with these that are already done. And then maybe we'll pumice them all together. I don't know. We'll find out. But hope everybody's weekend's been good. If y'all don't know, my name is Cade. My wife and I own a small little ortho lab out in the country in this little building that I'm in. We have a little building at the end of our driveway that houses our lab. And here's one. That is, I'm sitting here right now. That's really weird. Oh, I don't have the camera turned on. Okay, let me turn the camera on. It froze. It froze on me. Okay. That is why. So sometimes I'll turn it off because it freezes in the middle of the thing. So yeah. So my little lab here in the country. Here's my wire bending area. And I think I got a camera covered at each station. Of course, we got the wire bending station. We'll have that same wireless camera on the acrylic station. And then I got the trimming station and I got the pumice station, which is this one. So I got a new camera for the pumice station because when I use this one right here, which is giving me this view right here, hello, it freezes on me sometimes and I'll be in the middle of pumicing and y'all be kind enough to let me know, hey, the camera froze about 30 minutes ago, so I need to redo everything. Diana, nice to meet you. Thank you. It's our 23rd wedding anniversary and we got back earlier today. Didn't even know I was going to do this live stream. Didn't know if I'd get back in time or not, but hey, I kind of wanted to do one because I really like doing them now. But ow, that was hot. Dadgummit. Don't grab the soldering iron here because the heat is in this area. And if you put your finger there, it'll burn your finger. So that's your PSA of today. So let's get this over here. So I've already prepped it because I was going to do it Friday. But then we had to leave for our trip to get there. And oh, Amy, you're here too. Thank you for the anniversary. It is all for me. No, I'm kidding. It's my wife. She puts up with me. She didn't really want this type of work, but you know, us being a team, she helps me out. So I'm going to grab some 030 wire. Which I've noticed, I've got this new caliper, and let me zero it out. Okay, it's zeroed out. This is supposed to be 030, but it's 0295. So it's just a little thinner than 030, which I've never noticed that before. My other wire gauge, I guess it wasn't accurate enough to do that. Has anybody ever noticed that so this is supposed to be 032. So it's kind of there. I guess maybe if I don't push really hard right there. So let me try this again. Yeah, it's 030 if it passes through there. Some people have those it's a circle thing, and there's little slots, and each slot's a certain wire size. So Y'all let me know in the comments, what do y'all use? Do y'all use it's about this big and it's got a little slot things. Do y'all use some sort of caliper? I always have to measure my wire because I always second guess. I could probably be about 90% accurate if I got 2 of these and go, okay, this is 030, this is 032. I can tell by the thickness. But then I start talking to myself and I'm like, let me check. Okay, yeah, it's done. It's 030. But I see that it's 029 something, and I start thinking it's 030. So this should be pretty basic, easy retainer. What color are we dealing with today? Lapis blue. Oh, this is one of my... I gotta check the name. Make sure I didn't mix all these up. Yep, that's right. You got some new case pans. They're black, so they're nice and sleek. And my wife had a marker to put the number on here. We talked about that. I think it was Diana. We talked about that last time. About case pans, and it was a color mix-up, and the case pans happened to be in sequential order, which rarely happens in here, but it's just one of those fluke things, I think. But yeah, Amy, better safe than sorry. You don't want to have to do it all over again, right? See, I did a whole video. It makes for good content, honestly. So yeah, I don't want to have to do it over again. But doing things like that, showing the mistakes made in the lab, I think that's what people enjoy most about my channel. I'm not the best ortho technician in the world, but I'm probably the only one that is honest about on videos. I used to highly edit my videos, you know, just to show I just want to show the technique. And it looks like after you edit it that I didn't make any mistakes, but there's always mistakes being made in there. But so I threw this live stream together last minute and didn't really have a subject. I tried to find something unique or interesting that's already in the lab that I got to work on to do, because I'm sure many of y'all who, if y'all don't work in an ortho lab, you know, it may be interesting to you. Some people that work in an ortho lab may find this boring. And it's like you're at work, but it's on a Sunday. Good news is the Cowboys are on a bye week, which means they won't lose this week. Good news. You know, look at the bright side. Yeah, there's no way they can lose this week. They're on a bye week. So I always stay positive. Okay. So yeah, we got home from a trip. I think I took a little bit of a nap. We did go see Beetlejuice, mainly because the theater was in walking distance. So we enjoyed that. Hello, K3 people. Hello. How are you, crazy rich Asians? K3, this is K3 people. Good to see you. All right, Amy. Well, we are human. We all make mistakes. It's how you deal with them. That's true. Yeah, as long as you know we all make the mistakes. That is very true. I will admit, you know, sometimes some cuss words come out. And I throw a little tantrum. That's all good. Oh, Perry. Haven't bought bird beaks in 70 years. Can you recommend a good pair? This one that I'm working on right now, these have been my favorite so far. And they are Dentronics. And I have heard these are not Dentronics. What am I doing? No, yeah, they're Dentronics. 134, I believe. Yeah, Dentronics. That's what I recommend. I have had really good luck with this. I do have another set here where I broke off the tip. But the bird beaks I get from Great Lakes. These are the 220-020. I keep breaking the very ends off. So it's... And I got these through JBC and Company. But she said she's having a hard time procuring them for some reason. I even talked to one of my orthodontist clients today, one that I take my kids to for their ortho. We were sitting there talking while he was working on them, and just talking about the metallurgy in, I don't know if it's the United States or where these come from. They're just not as good as they used to be. He buys his pliers from Japan because he's like, that's the last place that, you know, has really good metallurgy. I feel like the Great Lakes ones have been going down in quality. But I am rough on them, and maybe because this is the last pair that I can probably get my hands on. But yeah, check out jbcandcompany.com. Check out their pliers section. You may be able to find these in stock. They're well worth the $100-something that I paid for those, because they are an extension of your hand. Amy, you just woke up from a nap. See, you know, great minds think alike. Although I have lost 3-prong. Okay. These are my Leone 3-prong. These aren't the ones I use. Where am I? Oh, they're on the QC desk. Hold on. Gotta go find them. I don't know if y'all can hear the ducks. The ducks and chickens are getting mad because the wife has not... Oh, my wife left her... Oh, she was sitting here. Her old lady sweater. Okay, so these are my favorite 3-prongs, and these are EA Beck and Co. stainless steel. They're tiny. They can only use them for smaller things. Do you remember my question about what kind of separator to use for a 3D printer? I use EPACs. I've never even heard of EPACs. Is that good? Maybe I have to look it up. Oh, Emacs. No, wait. I do get a lot of questions about separator for 3D printed models. If you have a chance, please comment below my question. Thank you. Oh, sure. EPACs. EPACs. I've never heard of that. I'll have to look into that. I'll show you what I use. And it's not 3D model separator. It's acrylic to acrylic separator. It's called Partall. And it's not to be used on 3D printed models. You know, this was not designed to be used on 3D printed models, but I use it on there because 3D printed models are made out of resin that has, it's a type of acrylic. It's a type of methyl methacrylate. And that's what this is designed to separate. So far, the very best stuff I've heard is from Tri-Group Technologies called Siliform. They actually have a patent on 3D separator material. So they obviously know what they're doing, but it's very expensive. This bottle is like 16 bucks, I think. And their little jar is like $250. So, then I'm working on a partial denture right now. Oh, man, you could join. See, I need to make like a network, like a Zoom call. And I'm going to work on my school. I'm starting to look into some things that I can do for my school, my online course, where we can all get on a Zoom call together, and we can all share ideas and have a community about that. So let's go back to this. All right, so this is a little different. I don't know if I clean these or not, but this is what I'm doing. I'm making an undercut wire. It's good to have an example here. And they're just like, it's like a little wire, and it goes into the embrasure of the teeth. Do I have a better example? Don't fall on the ground. You fell on the ground. Here's a better example. You can see they kind of, it's still got some wax. I gotta turn on my steamer. I just realized, but it's just a simple little wire. I use 025 wire, and it goes in between the embrasure, so the doctor doesn't want anything going over the occlusal surface. So we just go in between there, and I take a burr like this one on my handpiece, and I just clear out just a little bit of area right between the teeth. And so this will be kind of undercut wire. Oh, let me turn on the steamer before I forget. Let that start boiling up. Bad thing is sometimes my steamer causes my breaker to go out. So I make like a bend downward. Now I'm going to cover the first part of this from here to here. Woo! I need to brighten that or something. There we go. So then, let's get this. So it's a real easy little clasp to bend. I'm going to curve that a bit. And then I just take a little bit of pink wax, and that little hole that I prepped with the burr, I'm going to fill it up with this base plate wax, and then just insert this into that hole. There we go. Oh, my wife is feeding the chickens and ducks now. I hear her out there. Oh, good. Yeah, try that. You know, don't tell. She cannot sell it to you if you say you're going to work on 3D printed models. Because she designed that not to be used for 3D printed models. It's mainly for acrylic to acrylic separation like you would do in twin blocks. And I think last time I did mention something about I have it on my Patreon account. If you're not a Patreon member, I did set this aside. You can buy it for like $7, and it's my 4-part series on me building a twin blocks, and I use that separator in that to make the twin blocks. So just acrylic, if you want to put two acrylic together or something where you don't want the acrylic to stick to each other, but you got to pour acrylic against them, that's what this is for. But you can order it from her and just say, hey, I'm going to be making some twin blocks. Or, you know, you don't even have to tell her if you don't want to. You can order online. Oh. I can't find my foot pedal. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Oh, yes, Pete. He's out there somewhere. They're probably... he was crowing when I first started getting set up, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be a noisy live stream. But for any newcomers out there that are watching, my wife has a rooster. His name is Pete, and he likes to crow during my live streams. And I have a lot of Zoom meetings and stuff, and you know, with the different lab associations I'm a part of, and he's right there with me, just crowing away in the background during those meetings, and they all are saying, you know, they're like, oh, we hear Pete. So let me get this waxed in. I'll show y'all. I did save a picture. He's mangy Pete right now. He's going through a molting, and he does not look good right now. He's like, he lost all of his feathers around his neck and stuff. He looks bad. But I think I got, for you newcomers out there, that's Pete. and he likes to crow during my live streams. But since I've been doing these late live streams like this, he hasn't been, because it gets close to dark, so he doesn't. It's about roosting time. But you'll hear him call his ladies in. It's like, hey, come on in. You know, it's time to roost. Yeah, he's a staple of the show. You know, as the time change, I might have to move up my live stream on Sunday. Just so I can put my camera out there. Maybe I'll just put it out there in the coop where they roost, and then you can see him and his ladies out there snoozing away. Because, man, when that sun goes down, they just go to my side of town. They get a lonesome feeling. Sorry, I had a song pop in my head just now. Name that song for extra credit. That's one thing I don't like about this. Yeah, he's a staple of the show. Yeah, he's a ladies' man. The truth comes out. Yeah, he's a ladies' man. Yeah, we have a neighbor. His name's Miguel. He's awesome. And English is not his first, not his first language. And so he's got two Great Pyrenees that pretty much roam around and protect all the chickens. He's got chickens too, Miguel does. And so sometimes he has goats and sheep, and he just likes animals. And one of the Great Pyrenees, who my daughter named, he asked my daughter, what do you want to name? You know, he was a puppy just a year ago. And my daughter goes, Randy. So that's his name. His name is Randy. And he had gone missing. My wife was talking to Miguel. And Miguel didn't know how to tell my wife. He said he started looking embarrassed, and he knew where he was. He goes, Randy's a lover. He was out with his ladies, wherever they're at. So he goes away sometimes. He's a lover. And that's what Pete is too. Pete's a lover. Roosters, if y'all don't know, are pretty awesome. They'll crow when there's warnings around. Sometimes when something flies open, they do some god-awful sound, squawk or something, and he gets all the hens running. Actually, under the lab. They all run under the lab. Because I don't have any skirting around my lab. If y'all don't know, I've built this out of a Mennonite built like shed, and it's the type that they turn into tiny homes. And I have it set up on blocks so I can get plumbing done under here and electricity and stuff, and I've just never enclosed it. And I feel bad now if I enclose it, because the chickens get under there for protection and break from the heat and stuff like that. Hey, look at this, we're done. So you can see those undercut wires are pretty easy to do. And I just hold them in with pink wax, and that will allow the, this is actually, the doctor can actually grab this with a pair of pliers, right, and adjust it, move it toward a tooth or away from a tooth, toward a tooth or away from a tooth. Or bend it downward more into the gums or into the embrasure to really gather the undercuts. But you can see there's no clasps that are shown, so I call these undercut wires. But we are ready for acrylic. So let's get that going. Perry, do you know anything about the Form 4B printer? It looks good. It looks really good, but I don't know. I got the Form 3. I did get an offer to $1,000 off a Form 4 printer. I don't know anything about it except that I believe it's a little bit faster for like basic dental models. I think it's like 20 minutes to print, which is, if y'all don't know, that's fast for a Formlabs. Formlabs is not the fastest out there. I believe personally it's probably the most stable printer out there. But yeah, I don't know much about the Form 4. But if you are interested, I do always put a link down below because I'm a Form 3 printer owner. If you want to buy a Form 3 or 4 printer, if you use that link and sign in or whatever, however it works, you can get $500 off your printer. So you can get a deal there if you want. And then I get like $250 worth of resin, which if you don't know, resin's like $150 a liter for this stuff. You can get maybe 100 models out of 1 liter if you're, I'm moving the wrong thing over there. But yeah, I don't know much about the Form 4, except it just looks like a basic upgrade from the Form 3. Okay, so we're going to turn this on. I already got my pressure pot going. Let me get a camera over here on my least dominant hand, and hopefully it doesn't freeze up on me. There we go. And where did I put the model? Here it is. There's that, and let's do this. This is lapis blue, so we're going to do some lapis blue there, and I moved the case pan over right beside me, and ooh, I don't have much powder in there. Let me fill this up. So what you can't tell, but I put a funnel in here, and I'm just kind of scooping. I got my 5 pounds of acrylic here, and I'm pouring it in here. Y'all remember when I was having some issues with bubbling with my JBC acrylic? I thought it was my fume hood because I have it vented to the outside, and I thought I lost my louvers or my flaps out there, and I thought it was just making hot air come in here and humid air, and it was causing issues with acrylic. But it turns out the batch that I bought from JBC, it got too hot in shipping, and she was having issues that for some reason this summer with her, because it was like 100 degrees like most everywhere in the United States. It was really weird, and so wherever she was shipping to, it was starting to, in the settling, it was like packing it down in the UPS truck, and she said the particles were like melting together, and so you'd have to, you know, sift it and stuff or send it back to her. I had no idea. I was just fighting it. Thought I was doing something different, and I feel like I'm not going crazy because I was doing everything. I was putting my monomer in the fridge. I got a little video coming out, and it goes along with that retainer with the 2 pontics, or the 2 tooth colored bicuspids. There's a lower, and I messed up the labial acrylic, if you remember. I took too long sprinkling and talking that it starts setting up on me. So I did a second video. I've already recorded it. I've already edited it. It's ready to upload. And that should be, I'll try to release that on Monday. There's still, even in the repaired labial acrylic, there is still air bubbles. And I was like, man, I swear I did a good job doing this. But then it makes sense now that the acrylic was damaged in shipping. I had no idea acrylic get damaged in chipping like that. So if you're new here, I like to do this a certain way. I like to put a coat of clear down first, and that way I can see the wires when I flip the retainer over. Kind of like so. You can't see the wires there, but you flip them over, you can see them. So whenever you're trimming, you can see them. And also in the state of Texas, I have to put a name in there. So y'all probably saw me slip a name in there in the wet acrylic in that first layer, and that helps to put the name in there. And so I just put it on the tissue side. I could put it on this side, on the tongue side, but it's just easier to put it on the tissue side. And that way I can do designs and stuff on the other side, although I haven't done designs in a while. I've thought about doing a live stream of just me practicing, staying in the practice of doing designs, because, you know, it's in the name of the channel, Retainer Designer. And maybe I'll do a poll and before the live stream, and maybe I'll come on, you know, maybe a rainbow or a flag of some sort, or like a U.S. flag or a Texas flag, or Ecuadorian flag, maybe. So I've got this sprinkled, pretty much the thickness I want, so it shouldn't take too long. I'm just kind of looking in here about different thicknesses and stuff. I do see a little thin spot there, so I'm going to fill that in. Alright, so now here's the trick. 3D printed models, you've got to get a nice clean cut back here. And that is where your knife is going to go when this hardens, and you're going to slide it up underneath there to break the seal. Now you only get one chance to make this cut, because once you cut it, you're actually cutting through the separator. The separator is very fragile. So if you think during the wire bending process or something happened and you think you've damaged the separator, redo it. There's no chance in taking a risk. Another trick I do on 3D printed models is right about here, I put wax. There's a thin coat of wax, so I can slide my knife up underneath that wax. So I'm going to add a little bit of powder on here to freeze it from slumping on me in case it still has some monomer to soak up, and I'll put it in the pressure pot. And I don't have any... Oh, I've turned off the air compressor outside. It's wonderful. Okay, all right, let me do my emergency one here. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so I forgot my when I went on my trip to turn off the air compressor so that I could drain it when it gets back, because it's actually outside in a shed because of noise reasons. I did this whole thing and I thought I was doing good. I turned on the pressure pot to warm it up, I turned on the steamer to warm it up before we started. Well, I didn't do that before we started. I did it in the middle, but before I needed it, I turned it on. That's what I did. Oh, there's Sybil. What are you doing, Sybil?
New cat.
You new cat? You got your new kitty?
Yeah.
Is he in here?
No, he's in
Lila's
Lila's kennel.
kennel?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Are you filming?
Yep.
Oh.
Hazer, I love this. Oh, I'm glad you love it. It's always neat. I don't know if you're in this business or not, but you know, it's always neat to see someone doing their passion, doing what they love to do. Like, if you ever heard of Vice Grip Garage, probably one of my favorite YouTube channels out there. And he's just a guy doing revivals out in the field, working on cars and getting them to run. And I just find it amazing. I just love watching it. Design idea. Do Pete as a design idea. That's a great idea. I could probably, I haven't done pictures in a long time, or where you can create your own pictures. Steve Zara is probably the best at it on his YouTube channel. I could probably print a picture of Pete and then put it in the retainer, and then maybe that would be a great idea to do that. So, all right, we will do. What am I doing? I think that still needs a few more minutes. So probably it takes about 5 minutes to cure. It doesn't take long, especially when you can see the red lights on. That means it's heated. Oh, there is usually another light right there, and it turns on when it's actively heating. So this light is the switch, and it actually turns on, and so you know it's actually on, and then this one maintains the temperature at 120 degrees Fahrenheit, I think is where it keeps it at. So Amy, when we talk about design ideas, when I put out, you have to remember to put Pete as a design idea. Maybe I can hand draw him in the acrylic. Now that's where there are some really artistic people out there. I've always been impressed with some people what they can do with retainers. If y'all follow any other Ortho Labs, like on Instagram or something, it's really awesome to see all the pictures of retainers that people make. It's very humbling when you think you're the best, and then you see these and you're like, holy cow, this person is amazing. I was going through scrolling my feed right now, and it's all ads. Why is it all ads now? Yeah, look how cool this is. The polka dot. That is Ortho tooth. So isn't that cool? So get on Instagram, follow your favorite. I'm on there. No, I thought my mic was messed up. And just follow the people I'm following. And sorry if this sounds weird. It's sagging down or something. Thank you so much for the Williams appliance information. I have ordered oh good. I'm glad that helped. I had to familiarize myself with what a Williams appliance was. But if y'all don't know, and maybe while we're doing this, I'm going to bring up a website for all y'all to look at. I'll put this in the water real quick to finish do the final cure. Oh. A few more minutes, and then we'll get to trimming on that, and we'll just take it all the way through, start to finish. But yeah, the Williams appliance. Let me pull up a website real quick, and it is my hat, orthodonticresource.com. This is a membership site for Ortho Labs, but they have made this this website free for everyone to use. So let me show this to everybody. Present. Share screen. Yeah, share screen. And this, and share. And add to stage. Okay. So this is the homepage of the Orthodontic Resource. It's orthodonticresource.com. And you can become a member for as little as $50 if you're like a one-person lab or your in-house lab tech or something like that. All the way up to $250 if you're like a lab with like 100 technicians. So wherever you're at in there, you can join. And this is one of the best things is you click on this appliances and you get default descriptions of appliances. So that's where I found Diana's, I forget where it was at. Was it under expansion maybe? Anyway, it might be in here. fan type. Well, anyway, you can click on one of these and you'll get a breakdown of what each one is, and like the size of the wire you need, how it should rest on soft tissue, just things like that for each of these. So like right now I'm doing, retention, and here's Holly with ball clasp. Here's Holly with no clasp, which is kind of what it looks like. But I do have undercut wires here. I don't think they have undercuts in here. But that's stuff we work on getting there. So anyway, hope that's helped. But check that out. That's a great resource. If you get an order in for an appliance and you just need to look for a certain appliance, then it gives you step by step what you need to do. What am I trying to say? What each component of the appliance is. And this is just all the labs got together, shared their knowledge of what we all agree this appliance is. One bad thing about the ortho world is there could be one appliance, but 6 names for that one appliance. So different doctors, depending on which school they go to, may call it something else, but you get an order from another doctor and they call it something else, like a Nance bite plate. It's also called a fixed bite plate, which is part of Nance button. Anyway, this should help you. So hopefully that helps. Hazer, always love this type of stuff. No, but like to get into it. Oh yeah, there are schools that are available, but they're dwindling. I think there's only 13 left in the United States. I think there's Indiana, and then there's some on East and West Coast. But you can look for those schools. I'm currently attempting to build an online course. I've actually just did Wirebending 101. Yeah, I have an course outline. I've already done 3 videos on it that I've edited. So I have a whole course outline here of introducing yourself to pliers, the types of pliers, how to bend wires, and then we go over wire bending exercises like this. And so look for that. Hopefully that'll come out really soon. And it's just going to be a real quick Wirebending 101. You'll just need pliers and wires and this piece of paper and cutters, I guess. And you can practice wire bending and get good at that. So, what, Mahila, how are you doing? Oh, hi. Oh, the little logos came out. That's cool. Well, hello, kitty. Oh, you hear it? You hear a cat? Somebody let a cat in, and it's maybe I can get Sybil to bring the kitten in. She got a kitten from her mom, from my mom's farm. So maybe in a little bit we'll get them to come in. But I bet that retainer's done. So let's go and get this out. Change the camera to that. I need a knife. I need a good knife. Not the bad knife. No, not that knife. Sarah, what'd you do with all the knives? What'd you do with all the knives? You're not going to say anything, are you? No. My wife's camera shy. All right, so I'm going to... Did I have any wax on that? Oh, I didn't check my labial bow. That's something we're going to have to fix. It slid on me. And then this is where we slide the knife in here without stabbing my palm on live TV. So I like these knives that have a nice sharp corner to them. This is a Buffalo 7R knife, and I just gently pry it off. And there we go. There's the name. You can see I'm partially covering it up. But then there's those acrylic and stuff. So let's get moved over to this camera and let me steam it, and then we'll get to trimming it. Whee! Hold your ears. Okay, I do have a little trick camera thing that I was going to try to set up over here. If I can do it. I don't know if it's going to work or not. Can I do, hold on, y'all hold on a second. Just hold on a second. Oh, this is a weird camera. Okay, let's try that. We'll try it. I don't know if it'll work or not. The main thing is this. So, I'll turn on all my suction devices here. And so I call this part bulk trimming. As you can see, it trims really fast. It's not too accurate, but this should give you the shape. This is an aluminum oxide wheel. And this should give me the shape and the thickness I need. And then what I'll do is I'll go in there with a burr and fine tune it all. I did not steam this very good. I got some wax right there. Ow, there we go. So, I'm kind of proud of the way I sprinkled this. I applied the acrylic. So, I think I got it. I like the shape of it. So then I go to a different handpiece. So let's change this camera angle to this one. Right here. Where's the center of that camera? There we go. So if you can see me looking up, I'm looking up at the camera. I got a little screen of the camera here. I can't find the center. It's reversed. Okay, no, I don't like that. I'm gonna put where I usually work is here. So that means I need to turn this camera a bit. That's too much. Maybe if I move this back some. Hope I don't get y'all too sick. One of these days I'm gonna figure out a good way of recording this. Because it's... let me see if I can zoom in. That's zooming out. Zoom in. Okay, so yeah, I'll find a good camera and set it up permanently over here. So I have a burr. This is a tungsten acrylic burr. Oh, actually, what I'm going to do first is the stainless steel bristle brush here. I use it to go around these wires. That way, that tungsten burr will, I can keep a safe distance. Because this stainless steel bristle brush will not harm the wires. And then I like to even out the little interproximal acrylic points. So now I go back to here. Usually go around the teeth first, and I'm just setting the level on here. I like to be at least half the tooth or a little lower. I'll show what I mean in a little bit. So then I've done all this first. I've checked the level. Now if you want, you can go back to the model, place it on the model, and you can check to see how tall you are, how high up the teeth you are. So I want like half of the tooth here. So I've done the border here, and you know what? I think I'm afraid I'm taking too much real estate with my own face. But let's see if I can get a better shot. There, full screen. That's what we need. Y'all let me know if which shot you like better. If I can find the middle of this camera. Okay. So now I've done the part that's up against the teeth. You know, make sure that it's level. There's no undulating going on. This is where I can get close to that wire because I've already got really close with the bristle brush, the stainless steel brush, wire brush. I'll have another name for it soon. So you can see how much smoother it looks. Aluminum oxide wheel does some pretty aggressive scratches in here. So this burr actually will remove those scratches. And then we're about to switch over to sandpaper. I like to call it my pre-pumicing stage. And it will remove even more scratches off of here. Again, I'm just trying to make it, I'm going to squeeze it between my fingers. I do need to taper this a little bit. And just kind of looking for, make sure it's level on these back teeth. It's a little higher on this side. So I'll tackle that side. It's a little thick back here. All right, I think we are good. Let me angle this down a bit. Sometimes if I come in here at an angle, it shortens these up nice. But depending on the mouth, depends on how these lay in there. Okay. And this is the sandpaper mandrel. Tear off a little bit, get a nice fresh edge, and slap this up against here. This will really show the high and the low spots. So if y'all have ever done like car body detailing and stuff where you use different grits of sandpaper, and each one you go, I think this is 150 grit, if I'm not mistaken. It doesn't say it on here. So it's pretty aggressive. And so then the pumice, you could think of it as like 600 grit wet sanding, but this will help me smooth out, you know, the scratches from the burr. So the burr takes out the scratches from the aluminum oxide wheel, and then the pumice takes out the scratches that the burr leaves behind. So you just progressively, you know, getting finer and finer in your steps. So I see some stuff going on in here. See if I can get that to smooth out. And this won't really go through a wire, but you can flatten a wire real quick using this. And you definitely don't want to go here because this is already nice and shiny. Alright, I think we are ready for pumicing. Alright, let's go do that. I'm going to scrub. Do I have another camera? I do. Let me go turn that camera on. Turn off some of this machinery in here. I'm hoping I can get a good shot of this for the pumice. We'll see. I love your attitude. Thanks for your info fast. Oh, that's great. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Looks good full screen. I agree. You know, the more detail, the better. So let's go with pumicing this. I have my wheel over here. I'm going to move this screen so I can see, make sure. So I have a dish in here. It's a little Tupperware thing. It looks grody, I know. But it holds water, and that's why I can dip this in here to help soften it. You know, when it gets dried, it gets hard. I need some more pumice, so I have a little container below here, and put some pumice in there. And I have another little thing of water. Got to wet the pumice. Now you can probably hear the fan. So behind this lathe is an extractor fan that I got off Amazon and stuck it through the wall. And it's mainly, you know, to keep the dust down, because this will produce a lot of dust. So I'm getting this to this consistency right here. Can't see that. It's probably a little on the dry side. I have a flap on here to keep this from spraying me in the face. And so I'll just put a little bit on here. Do figure 8 motions or little circles. And just working it around. I am dropping more pumice on the floor. I think because I'm having to do this in a weird position. I do see a slight divot in here. I don't know if y'all can see that or not from way over there. But can I zoom y'all in? Can y'all, if I do that, will that screw you up? It's alright, I guess. It's kind of the bad angle. I'm trying a new camera over here. Now I'm going to do the underside. And like I said, I always try to do the underside just a bit, just in case there's something there that will irritate the patient's roof of the mouth. And I'll do the labial bow a bit, just in case I got a little sandpaper on there or something, scuffed it up. All right, here we go. Pumicing should not take that long, but I was trying to chase everything. I don't know if you saw that. I'd do it a little bit, and then I would check it in the light, and I rotate the light around, and it shows me where, you know, where some spots are that I need to work on. So we're gonna move to this other side, and we're gonna zoom out a bit. That is zooming in. So this is high shine. I'll flip this up. So I have my acrylic plastic shine, and then I'm just gonna run this through here. My hand's blocking the view, sorry. I'm gonna have to find a better. Now, while I'm doing this, let me see if I can move this up higher. This might be better. Hopefully it stays up and doesn't fall over in the middle. Yep, it's falling over. Gotta love the live stream. Well, the bad thing is my little mounting stand here is I had left it outside in the rain. Long story, but I had a security cam on my wife's new ducklings, and they're spending the night outside for the first time, and so she wanted to keep an eye on them during the night. So I put the little camera on my little tripod here and left. And it rained. Camera was waterproof, but not the stand. It got a little rusty. So we're done. We'll switch cameras so you can see. Let me get the model. Oh, we're right at exactly an hour. So y'all know it. There you go. You see now why I always say an hour to make any appliance. So it turns out pretty good. When I use a sandpaper, my dog thinks it's a fly and scratches his ears. Yeah, it's like a buzzing. And it's like a buzzing sound. And I don't like it when my wife uses it. She's the main one that does most of the acrylic trimming and pumicing and stuff. And so she does the sandpaper. And I gotta like turn up the headphones that I'm listening to, whatever YouTube video I'm listening to, because I cannot hear a thing I can't hear anything when that buzzing's happening. So yeah, it's kind of a loud process. All right, let's do a little QC. So I'm actually going to clean out some of this. I probably should have steamed this. I didn't steam it. The model. I've been getting to where I like to steam the model. So I'm going to, some of this pink wax that I use to hold the wire in place, it deforms as you're taking this on and off, like because the wire it was holding on is now attached to the acrylic, and you're dragging it back and forth through the acrylic. The bad thing about these, they don't have the snap that I like with, if it's a Adam's clasp or ball clasp or a different type of clasp. But I have learned a few tricks. I still got some wax up underneath there I need to take care of. So I'm going to move these forward, try to engage that tooth in front. There we go. I mean, it's not coming off, so that's good. So let's fix this. So how would you fix this? First look and see, is this perpendicular to the occlusal plane? And it pretty much is. This one's leaning back a bit. So I bet I could take some pliers like this. And sometimes it's better to QC these when there's acrylic, whenever acrylic is holding the wires in place. And so I'm going to take this and I'm just going to rotate it forward. So then hopefully it's more perpendicular like that. And so now it's not touching the teeth at all, which it makes for a bad retainer, makes for a bad way of retaining teeth if they don't touch the teeth. So I'm actually I still need to bring it down some. I think it needs to come down to about right here. So I'm going to take, I think I want to use these. These are regular bird beak pliers. These are from Great Lakes Orthodontics. And I'd like to grab it back here because then it's going to curve it down. You see how that dropped that labial bow? And it dropped it down. Now you want to put it right at the top to just tighten it. So you see now, whenever I'm bending, if the labial bow's in a certain position like this, I know it's an easy fix, and sometimes easier to fix in the QC stage. You just got to remember to do it. So that's it. Now these can go. I can pumice the rest of them. This has finally caught up with the other ones, and actually it's gotten ahead of them because the other ones still need to be pumiced. I got to find that case pan. Make sure it's in the right case pan. But bad example, I'll put all the other ones that need to be pumiced in here too. So that's it. I hope that helps someone out there that, hey, sometimes it doesn't go right for you. And you got to do a little catch up. That was from, all the retainers here are from when I went to trying to get ahead, trying to take a little vacation with the wife. But left one out, thought I was doing good. So hopefully that helps y'all, somebody out there. Fracking great. I like that. So if y'all are still watching, if you check the link below, I do have a link to my Patreon account. And that will, I think it should show up here. If you're watching the recording, it should show, there's a button with a P on it. You click that and it takes you to my Patreon account for like $1. If you don't like these ads, I download these later, and the next day I upload them without ads to Patreon. So you can watch this all the way through without ads popping up. And actually, I don't think I monetize this video, so there may not have been any ads. So a preview of the Patreon, so you can see that. But then I'm trying to get together some groups of people, and we can do group coaching on there and help people out that are trying to start their orthodontic journey to being in their own lab like I am, and working from home or doing whatever you need to do. My school is going to be geared for taking the ortho lab technician to ortho lab owner. So sign up for that if you're interested in that. Otherwise, hey, I like talking with y'all on the live stream. So Amy, have a great night, everybody. K3 people, thank you so much. And with that, I will say, I'll see y'all next week. And until then, happy bending.